Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Lawyer Talk, where we get to take 5 with a trusted advisor, and each week get to know the best attorneys that can help you, your friends, families, or loved ones with your legal needs. I'm super excited to introduce you to our guest this week, attorney Alison Kanne. Alison, thank you so much for being here. Please introduce yourself, your firm, and tell us a little bit about what your work entails.
Thanks, Haley. My name's Alison. I work for Wandro Associates here in Des Moines. I do primarily civil litigation with a little bit of criminal law mixed in there. And essentially, I work with people and small businesses.
Excellent. Thank you. And again, really appreciate you taking time with us today. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you, I ask all the attorneys on here, but would love to know a little bit more about why you became an attorney.
So both of my parents were attorneys. So I swore as I grew up as a kid that I would never be an attorney, but here I am. Honestly, I always wanted to do a job where I felt like I could help people. And a law degree allowed a lot of flexibility. I didn't have to practice law. I could do a lot of different things with it, but ultimately I knew I would be able to help people with a law degree. It brings a lot of power that your average person doesn't have. So after college, I served in the Peace Corps, which gave me a real taste of what it is like to work for the people and to help people with day-to-day problems. And I thought, how can I bring that in a professional capacity? So I became a lawyer, and I'm really, really loving it.
That's excellent. And it's just so interesting. I can tell you're passionate about helping others and giving back. And that experience in the Peace Corps is really interesting too. I myself thought about joining and getting that experience. So I bet that gave you a lot of good experience in helping, your clients now and today and professionally. So excellent. And what advice would you have or would you give for new lawyers, just starting out, maybe taking the bar here soon? What advice would you give to them?
My biggest piece of advice for young lawyers is to take advantage of opportunities as they come to you. I think we can all get in our heads a little bit sometimes and get nervous. Maybe I haven't done this before, or this seems really complicated or hard, or, maybe I've never made an argument in court before, but suddenly I'm being offered that opportunity. My advice is to take all of those opportunities because you figure it out as you go along. And once you've done it, it gets easier and easier the next times that you have to do it. Young attorneys, we're nervous people. We're type A people. We don't want to mess anything up. We don't want to do anything wrong or make any mistakes. I think the best thing that you can do is just to try, and usually it'll work out. And if it doesn't, you learn a lesson and you do it correctly the next time. So it's really important to just go for it every single time.
I love that. Just go for it. Don't let that fear of inexperience potentially hold you back. And like you said, we learn the most outside of our comfort zone and get the most growth. So excellent advice, Alison. Thank you so much for being here. I know a lot of people will get a lot from that advice, and we love hearing your story. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And everyone else, we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Haley.